I'm on this journey of getting my whole self together, right? I'm on this journey of loving my whole self, and I have a few things I want to share with you. The first thing is my relationship with food. The problem is, the reason I found so much satisfaction out of food, because I wasn't feeling fulfilled in life, right? Things would happen, and these are like, you could be high, and then you have these drop lows, right? I didn't know how to balance, and I'm still learning. It's not that I like know how. So what I realized is, because I wasn't, on times where I wasn't feeling satisfied in life and fulfilled in life, food was satisfying. It tastes good, but it got to a point where it just don't, like, it was cool then, but like where I'm at now is not as satisfying. For real, it doesn't fulfill me like it used to. Yeah, it tastes good, but I'm like intentionally shifting my gears. Like, yeah, I can still find food that's good, and I can still, but I don't want that anymore. Like, I am intentionally saying I do not want to be that satisfied by food, that if food makes me happy and I'm not living my life, because what happens is, it's straight up suicidal, because I eat the food, I'm happy, then later on I'm mad at myself for eating that food, and then my body not doing what it's supposed to do. And I realized, like, yeah, my body is a temple. And you know, we said it, and it takes something moment. My mama said this to me years ago, because she heard it from somebody else, that it was just a point where she was worried, this parent was worried about her child, and then something just clicked. And I realized those click moments happen for all the reasons in all the different situations, right? So for me, with my relationship with food and loving myself, and on this journey of loving my whole self, I've come to realize food is just really not that satisfying to me anymore. Don't get me wrong, it's good. Like, this past weekend I had some really good food, but I was very mindful, like, okay, this is what we're gonna eat this much. They were little hors d'oeuvres, so it was actually portion control for me, and I loved it, right? And then I eat some, and then I waited and ate more. Before, it would be such a gluttony of me just sitting there eating a whole bunch of food. And people could probably say this to me, whatever, but no matter what people tell you, it's not about like, oh, they was right. It's about you realizing it so that you can grow. So I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm gonna bring it back. When I was just driving, I was like, man, I am finding so much joy in living that my actions are changing to become a person who is satisfied from living and fulfilled from life. Meaning, I found so much joy in my work. I found so much joy in my business, in my family, and my friends. Right? They're not my only joy. And I found so much joy in myself. Yes, food is good, but it became so to the point where I am disgusted with food. Like, I remember battling with the idea that I am mad I have to eat food to be alive, because I wish I could just stop at cold turkey. When I used to do other things that wasn't good for me, I could just cut off cold turkey. But I can't cut off foods cold turkey. And you're like, oh, well, you can cut off sweets, unhealthy, so la la. Too much of what they consider healthy is not good for you. Too much protein will have you jack up. Too much sugar will have you diabetic and still gaining weight because it's sugar. You know what I'm saying? Too much brown rice is not the best. So I didn't really have a balance. And so I'm like, I can't just cut off all food. But I had to like get a new relationship with food. And things I used to say was nasty because someone else said it was nasty, or people talked about it. I had to stop doing that. Like, people can talk about, like, oh my goodness, for instance, you know, a type of home you have. I was like, I don't want this type of home. I don't want to live here or in this area, because why? I've sat around with people joke about, this is really a rant, who joked about that type of living or different things like that. And out of my ignorance, I'm up here blocking my own blessings to something that I never thought I would live in, and I'm purchasing, and it's mine. I'm like, man, ain't this full circle? And so it's really like the whole mindset thing around food. And sometimes people say it, but it's easier done, right? And so I'm always about faking the funk, but to an extent. I don't never want to fake the funk permanently, but I want to fake the funk intentionally. Fake it till I make it intentionally, right? And what that means is, I did it with my self-esteem and my confidence, because people saw in me something I couldn't see myself for many years. Like, I knew I was beautiful. I knew I was cute. I knew I can, you know what I'm saying, get it together. But I really didn't understand, one, my influence. I didn't understand, two, how powerful I really am and was then. And so I started believing all the good things that people saw that I couldn't see. I said, God, reveal it. God, show me. And I had to become intentional about faking it until I'm making it. And what that mean was, it wasn't even faking it until I'm making it, but faking it until I believed it. Because it really, like, I didn't understand manifesting and, you know, speaking into existence and things. Like, I learned that along with the process, like, oh, this is what I'm doing. Because guess what? I must tell you, I'm amazing. You may not think I'm amazing. You may not understand why I'm amazing. You may question it, but I need you to understand I'm amazing. But also, I'm intentional. I said, like, I'm amazing, but my amazingness does not stop your shine. Because you're amazing in your own right. And even the most horrible person we think in America, right, or any other world, there's somebody who loves them. There's somebody who cares about them. And I'm like, because somebody thinks they're amazing because they have followings. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to food. So bringing that back to food is, I had to realize, like, I am truly amazing and I like doing things. But what I don't like with doing things is doing things heavy. Because we wasn't done. So here's the thing. Sometimes you have to take the time and cry, figure out the whys, even if it's not the only why. Because I usually like, oh, I would do this because of this. And in actuality, it was multiple things. It wasn't just one reason why. Basically, there were other emotions that made me feel unsatisfied, negative, or whatever, that really fueled the food, because the food gave me, like, some of the dopamine and different things or whatever to make me feel different. And so that was the first thing. So then you start working on those things, right? So me and my dad's relationship got better and and then so it kind of gets better, working and then boom, here comes another trigger. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay, and then here comes something else, and then something else, and then something else, right? And so after it being so many things, the common thing that I noticed was unsatisfaction. And the thing about unsatisfaction, that is what made me want food. Because food tastes good, food made me feel good. So it brought me so many different good emotions, right? Even though the instantaneous was good, but the end result of overindulging and things of that nature was not good, I was still cool with it. So now here we are on this journey. I'm preparing to get weight loss surgery. I know I need to call. I thought I had everything. So like when I was high on it and the adrenaline was going, I was like, okay, we got this doctor, we got it all taken care of. Then I realized, oh no, you got to actually go and get the specialist to do it. Your primary can't just sign off. So I'm like, okay. And here we are at a standstill, because that means I'm really doing this. And talking to myself and saying, like, are you going to commit to this? Are you going to do this right? Like, is this going to be, you know what I'm saying? Nope. You know, asking my question, is this just a fad? Is this like a tool that I'm actually going to use? You know, if I can lose some weight by myself, why am I still going to do this? Yada yada. You know, all these questions people ask them, whatever. And I have to ask myself, because avoiding them questions, I feel, makes me feel put on the spot. But if I have already thought about it and answered the questions for myself, it helps prepare me for other questions, even if it's just a dismissive question, like, none of your business. I don't know, and I'm okay with not knowing. You know, whatever the case may be, not letting other people's burden or whatever come on me, right? So, I say all that to say, I'm very excited about getting the surgery, because I am at a place where I am satisfied and I'm feeling fulfilled with living, with getting my degree, with working at a job that I enjoy, with, you know, being okay that I need change. I'm not gonna just have a job where I go in all the time. I'm working from home now, but I know that's gonna change. And after probably about 2 years or so, I'm gonna want to get out, especially with losing weight. I'm like, okay, so how can I get a job in the office? How can I move up? How can I because that's naturally who I am, and I love that about me, right? So I say all that to say, say all that to say, I don't know. Oh, hey cousin. I don't know who was beeping. I was not paying attention because I was definitely talking to you guys, but it was actually my cousin. But I don't know exactly what I don't know exactly is that Frankie? That was really him. How are you? No, how are you doing? All right, I didn't know that was you, and I was pulling off. So how you doing? So the thing is, I have to remind myself, because now don't get me wrong, I have these moments where it's like, oh yes, we're ready to do this, but then sometimes doubt creeps in, and that's just normal. And so what I have, certain things I had to come to terms with about life in order to really get the most out of life and to really enjoy it. I have to come into terms that it's not going to be smooth sailing. And this may sound, I don't know how it's gonna sound. I know how it's gonna sound, but y'all could do with it what you choose to do with it. I realize life is not gonna be smooth sailing. Because I had to tell myself, disclaimer, as brutal as it, don't let this be a trigger, just no warning, brace yourself. I had to say, listen, if I ain't gonna be able to handle that life has ups and downs, I might as well kill myself now. If I'm not gonna be able to handle that life is gonna throw its curveballs and all this other stuff, and it's like, I like the ocean. Why? Because of the ups and downs. If I'm not gonna understand that's gonna happen to my life, then yeah, I might as well keep eating and slowly kill myself, or just take myself out. And once I came to grips to that, I'm learning how to ride these waves. Does that mean it doesn't get overwhelming? Heck no. But what that means, is I identify that there are times, and I allow myself to have time to just be, because that is what I need to reset, refresh, and continue to move and continue to live. If I don't have that and I'm just going and acting like, oh no, I'm not bothered. I'm supposed to have emotions. I'm supposed to have fear. I was talking to someone, fear is out there to protect you. So I'm supposed to have all these emotions and all these things. You know what I'm saying? And so if I don't, then it's like I'm a robot, and I'm not AI. I'm not a robot. I have no desire to be. So this is me just talking. Listen, all this is preaching to myself.